Good morning, friends, and welcome to Gardening with Creekside. Today is a fun day because this is the first delivery of a couple of deliveries that we have coming to kick off the 2025 season here at the Garden Center. We have our friends from Panoramic Farm that are coming with a truckload of gorgeous perennials and shrubs. So we are going to show you all of those beautiful things that are coming off the truck. I actually beat the truck over here today. It is it's a little different than what we've been showing you as far as the weather goes. Yes, I am in my nice warm coat because I think the high today is like 39 and raining. Ugh. We joke around here that we can't take a delivery of plants unless it's cloudy and cold and rainy, and so in true fashion, that is what is happening today. But we are super excited about our friends from Panoramic coming because they always just grow the absolute most gorgeous plants. There are going to be some Hellebores, there's going to be hydrangeas, there's going to be shrubs. I think there might be grasses on there, all sorts of fun things. So just join us this morning for a look at some beautiful plants from our friends at Panoramic. My apologies, everybody. The truck got here and it was just all hands on deck. And so I didn't film any of the truck actually being here, but I promise it was here and we unloaded it and we got some fantastic shrubs. So what we're going to do is just going to walk you through the shrubs first while it is not raining, and then we're going to move into the greenhouse because we've already moved the 240 Hellebores that arrived, carex grasses, and some Mangaves. 1 gallon Mangaves. Y'all are going to love these. So let's just walk through. Again, Garden Center opens this Saturday, February the 15th from 9 to 3. Y'all, I know the weather's going to look a little iffy. We're going to be here. That's all I'm going to say is we will be here and we're going to be happy to serve you. So we would love to see you if you were in the area and you are looking to add it to your garden, because it really is. I know that it's kind of, the weather's off and on, but it really is a great time to be adding shrubs and trees to your garden. As soon as I can get some free time, I am going to be adding hydrangeas to the garden, because for the South, this is the time of year where you want to add your hydrangeas to your garden. We really don't want to be adding gardenias and hydrangeas to our gardens in June, July, and August. Way too hot. Now is a great time to do it, and we've got some for you. So let's just walk through some of these shrubs and give you an idea of what they look like. So when the truck comes, no matter what the truck is, we unload it and we try to organize them as they come out, because what we have to do now is now go and put barcodes on them. So that way at the checkout process, it makes it so much easier. We can just scan them and off they go. So they're in little clumps. The ladies have gone to go get the barcodes and we're going to get them stickered as long as it does not rain. Right here in front of me, these gorgeous, you might be familiar with these if it looks kind of familiar. This is the Goshiki osmanthus. This is that beautiful tricolor sweet olive. It's an osmanthus that I have in that large unique stone container up up in the terrace garden. So this is going to be a bit of a slower grower osmanthus. Will still flower, will still have that fragrance, but you get that beautiful color. So you've got the kind of the creams, the yellows, those dark greens. You'll even get a little pink when we get some new growth on them. So the Goshikis, and all of these shrubs are in 3 gallons. So just to kind of keep you updated on that. And the osmanthus here would be a great accent plant like I'm using, a large container. If you wanted to put it on the side of your house for a pop of color, that would be great. My shade people, sometimes these are hard to get. This is the soft caress mahonia from our friends at Southern Living. Has a very kind of a bamboo-esque look to it, but it is great for that shade garden. 3 feet tall, 3.5 feet wide, really fun, heavily dissected, like very thin little leaves on it, and it will bloom yellow flowers in late fall that your pollinators love. But this is definitely going to be more for that morning sun, shade, filtered sun garden. So, and it is an evergreen. Gardenias, so fun, again from our friends at Southern Living. This is Jubilation. Jubilation is that gardenia that they sent me back in the late, well, it was kind of later fall, and I have not planted it yet because I was waiting for warmer weather. So this is going to be a 3 to 4 feet tall and wide, full sun, continuous bloomer, nice double, has a bit of a different leaf shape on it, say, than your Diamond Spire, your Pillow Talk, those kinds of things. You know that I am a huge fan of gardenias, and in my garden I can never have too many gardenias. So I love the fact that this Jubilation has a little bit of a different leaf texture to it. Still going to flower all summer long. Beautiful pure white flowers that smell amazing. The rains have begun. Here we go. Another, talking about, you could have multiple gardenias and they have different structure to them. So this is Diamond Spire, and I've had Diamond Spire in the back patio for a couple of years now, and it's such a great one because it has a unique upright habit to it. And look at these leaves, right? Completely different than that Jubilation. They remind you of like little thumbprints. They are extremely glossy, really dark green, looks like this year round. If your gardenias have this little bit of burn on them, that is just some winter damage, y'all. It is not a problem. As soon as this plant starts to flush back out, all that's just going to fall off, and you're going to get beautiful foliage on it with single blooms. This is going to be 3 to 4 feet tall, 2 feet wide. Great plant. Evergreen, fun one. This is Dragon Prince, again from Southern Living. This is a cryptomeria. When you have a cryptomeria, you're going to have a full sun plant that has some bronzing to it. So you can notice that it has that brownish color. It is not dead. It is not damaged. This is what cryptomerias do. They take on the tips that little bit of that bronzy brown in the cold winter months, and then see how nice and bright green it is? That's what it's going to look like in the summertime. This is going to be 2 to 3 feet tall, 3 to 4 feet wide. Great, easy, low maintenance, perfect evergreen as a foundation plant that's going to give you some interest to it, right? Not going to flower. You don't need flowers when you have this fun color and texture. Hydrangeas, Rock Steady. Here we go. The new Vitex from Proven Winners. This is that Rock Steady that will bloom for much longer than your traditional Vitexes. If you're not familiar with a Vitex, think of a very large butterfly bush. That's what I first thought when I first saw one. It's like almost like a small tree, because it can be 4 to 12 feet tall, 4 to 5 wide. Here in the South, it's going to be that 12 feet tall, right? Hardy in zones 5B to 9. Beautiful lavender flowers that your pollinators love. Blooms on new growth, so you could easily come in here, and we may just kind of come in and kind of take the tips off just a little bit, but a full sun, beautiful, fast growing, low maintenance, gorgeous plant. So we've got the Rock Steady. 3 gallons. These are stunning. These are beautiful plants right here. Boxwoods. So we went with some new gen boxwoods. We like to give people options when they're looking for their boxwoods. You'll notice, again, there is some new growth because Panoramic had these probably underneath some protection, so they didn't get completely fried. But new gen has a lot more of some boxwood blight resistance to it. It has also good resistance to the boxwood leaf miner. Classic boxwood shape to it, right? And this is going to be in 15 years a 3x3, so a bit of a slow grower. So it has that medium growth to it, only 2 to 4 inches per year, and this can do anywhere from sun to shade, and hardy in zones 5B to 8. If you're familiar, this is a great substitute for that Green Beauty, Green Velvet, and Green Mound. So a slower grower, more compact, different than Sprinter. Sprinter gets its name obviously because it is a very fast grower. So great boxwood blight resistance on the new gen Independence. Hydrangeas, the absolute classic Incredible. We love Incredible. It is a fantastic part sun to full sun arborescent hydrangea, classic big huge balls on it. These are nice 3 gallons. They've already been pruned. You don't need to do anything to them. They're gonna be about like a 4 to 5 tall and wide, big massive white flowers on them. This is the same thing that I have behind the patio in the backyard. So of course I do love Incredible. And then we have 2 more. We've got pufferfish right here. Pufferfish is going to be one of those newer ones, right? So it is a panicle. You're going to be guaranteed to get flowers every single year. nice, big, light and airy blooms on it. So they stand up to the rain. The water just goes right through them. This is going to be that full sun to part sun, 3 to 5 tall and wide. Again, it's already been pruned. You don't need to do anything to it. Plant it in the ground and forget it. And then very excited, because sometimes it's hard to get these, we have the Invincible Ruby. So this is a color specific arborescence, meaning you're guaranteed to get these beautiful ruby flowers every single year. You do not have to worry about your soil's pH. This is color specific. And y'all, they really do look like this, even here in the South. I love this plant. This is going to be about 3 feet tall and wide. Now, a couple of little tips for the Invincible Ruby for my friends who are in this region. If you're buying them here, odds are you're probably going to be around from this area, right? So on the tag, it says with the rubies, full to part sun. Not full sun here, not where I live at least. Now, if you're in a cooler zone, maybe you're in the mountains of North Carolina, maybe you're somewhere else that is cooler, maybe you can handle the full sun. Here, it needs morning sun, afternoon shade. I first had my rubies in full sun, where the Emperor One bed is now. Absolutely fried. Even on irrigation, they could not handle it because it's intense all day sun. Move them down towards the creek bank so they get lots of good morning sun. I would say still in that 5 to 6 hours of that first morning sun, but by lunchtime in the summertime, they're in the shade and they love it. I love this hydrangea. It is an absolutely beautiful ruby hydrangea. You're gonna want this one. All right, let's move into the greenhouse and look at all the fun things there. The perennials, yay! All right, my friends, just go ahead and prepare yourself. I love these. Okay, we're gonna start with the Mangaves. Now, if you're not familiar with Mangaves, Mangaves are a cross between an agave and a manfreda. So it's the best of both worlds in the fact of you get that great sun tolerance. They love kind of those droughty, well, not even drought, they just love the sun, right? So they drink up the sun of the agave, but you get the color and then like the water, where they love to have the water from the manfreda. Now here I have some that I had in containers at my garden. We overwintered them in the greenhouse. And so this is what it looks like. So this is a lavender lady here. These are the ones for sale in the gallon containers. Mine was not even this big last year. I think they may have been a quart when I got it from our friends at Walter's Gardens. So it was a quart. And then this is lavender lady this year. Now you'll notice that there's a little bit of color difference between mine and theirs. Mine's been in the greenhouse and so it's been UV protected, but it is a fast grower. So like this is my bad hair day. We unfortunately don't have any bad hair days available because it is so popular. I think it's Catch a Wave and then somebody else is over here. So this is some ideas that you can do with them. They do great in containers. They do great in containers and mix them with your annuals. So it's your petunias, your super bells. You can put them in a hanging basket. Like you can put them in the landscape. If you want to make sure that they went over winter, you may have to dig them up and move them, but they are fabulous. So what we have is, again, still are putting things out. So we have the lavender ladies here. They're just so incredibly cool. Then we have silver fox. And you'll notice that some of these are in proven winter containers and some of them are not. They all come, the Mangaves come from our friends at Walter's Gardens, but only I think like 10 of them are in the collection for proven winners. They're all still fabulous ones, so don't fret about that. Then we've got this guy right here. I can't see the tag. I don't want to move it without, I could break something. So we've got that one. Look at this. I love the coloring on Moonglow. Look at that. Debbie said it should be called like cheetah or leopard or something. Isn't that fun? So we've got those. We've got, let's see, find which all my ones. Oh, look how big this one is. This is the red wing. See, and it'll have that reddish color to it. Oh, Aztec King. That's what those were down there because it's the same thing right here. So then there's the Aztec King. Look at that. Obviously, it's gonna be a nice, nice big one. And then this black one was called, let's see, Black Magic. Look at that. So see, within, look at those three. Massive color difference within those. Really, really fun. Very unique. These make great container plants, y'all. I adore them. Now, let's pan over. You can see that Jackson and Cece are hanging up the hanging baskets. Hellebores. There you go, my friends. So we just put them in wagons and brought them into the greenhouse to keep them, one, dry, because the rains are going to come, and we'll have to barcode them. And also tonight and tomorrow we're going to get below freezing, and these were in a slightly protected area. So the last thing we want to do, of course, is have them damaged. So that's why we're putting them in here for the next 2 nights, and then we'll move them outside and they'll be fine. Just give them a little bit of time to harden off, and you can go ahead and put them directly into your landscape. So we have 9 different varieties of hellebores. If you're not familiar with hellebores, oh my goodness, okay, I need you to get some hellebores in your life. The one caveat would be is you need to have more in that shade. They're perfect for woodland gardens. They can handle morning sun, but they need more of a break in the afternoon. Now, if you're super, those colder zones, they could probably do the full sun. Here in the south, they're gonna need a break because they could fry if they get that hot, hot afternoon sun. They are evergreen. They are typically, historically, deer, rabbit resistant because their foliage is very, very tough and leathery, and typically the critters don't like that. They are called Lenten roses. That is their common name. It is a hellebore, but they're called Lenten roses because they historically bloom within the season of Lent. So that is why they get their name. They're not actually a rose, but that is just their common name. They are very tough. They are very cold hardy. You can have hellebores that are blooming and be covered in snow and their little heads are popping out. So once they're getting your garden and they are established, they will live for years and years and years. The only maintenance that we have to do on them is, I'll show you on one, it has a little bit of a foliage, is this time of year when all that new foliage comes up and those flowers start to come up, we just go around the plant and we cut off last year's foliage. That's it. If you want to throw a little plant tone on them once a year, great. But do you have to? No. They are so tough, but stunning. Absolutely stunning. Okay, so I, of course, have my own little collection. So we have 9 different varieties. So I went through and grabbed one of each that I will be adding to my gardens here in the coming days. So let's just walk through these. Basically, there are Lenten roses like there are the number of hydrangeas or the number of hostas. There's a gazillion. Don't get so terribly hung up on the variety unless you're like a collector and you really, really want that variety. Just go to your local garden center. This is the time of year when they have them, and have fun. So here we go. This is the snow rose. So this is the Ice and Roses Purple Sunrise. They're messing us up with how they do that. So Purple Sunrise, and look at this. Now, historically, your Lenten roses will have kind of downturned flowers on them. So let's look at the back. Look at that. Look at the veining on that. These are your buds, right? And then we take them. Is she not gorgeous? I mean, hello, beautiful. Definitely going in Jenny's garden, probably up there at the chicken coop, because that's really the only place I have room in a shady area. Love this. And like I said, this was the Purple Sunrise. So we got that one. All right. Next, we have this is still the Ice and Roses. This is Ice and Roses Red. I have one of these over in the Pines that has been there for a couple of years, and it is fabulous. So all of these are buds that are opening up, and then here is a more mature bloom that is open, right? And you're going to see that hellebores tend to go down. They tend to have the flowers that go down. A couple of the new breedings, hello Joker, they're more upturned. But here we go. Now, look at the difference, though, between the Ice and Roses Red, which is right here, and then this is, let me find my tag. This is the Mona Marble. It's still an Ice and Roses, You still have a nice dark bloom on it, a little bit more purple than it is the red, but look at the foliage, y'all. That's what it's supposed to do. Mona marble is going to have all that beautiful marbling effect to it, variegation. So see, you can never have too many hellebores. Maybe those colors look the exact same, but the foliage is very different and absolutely stunning. So this is Mona marble. Now let me show you right quick. We have back here, this should be the Macy marble, and I'm on the ground, y'all, so forgive me if this is a little jerky. I'm sorry. Yep, this is Macy marble. So we still have the variegation. Look at the color though. Isn't it beautiful? Still has that creamy, buttery that we still had from the purple sunrise, but a little bit more pink, a little bit more rose. There you go. And these also make great cut flowers. So you can cut them and bring them in, and they are beautiful. Now, these newer varieties are not gonna be the crazy aggressive spreaders that the old-timey hellebores are. Mimi has, if you've been part of those garden tours, she has got thousands, literally thousands of hellebores, and those are the old-timey ones because they will form seeds and they'll pop open and they spread babies everywhere. The newer hybrid varieties are not nearly that aggressive. In fact, some of these that I have, they may even be sterile. I can't remember off the top of my head if they are or they're not. I just know that I have these in my garden and I don't have thousands of them. I have a nice big clump of one. So kind of gives you an idea on that. So we've got kind of those bicolors and those reds. Now, here we go into, look at Frosty. Is she not a beautiful romantic rose? Now this is an older bloom because see it has that green in there. When we come around here, it's more of a cream and a cream. So this is Frosty, and then this beauty is Merlin. Now Merlin too, so this is much older bloom, a dusty rose, gorgeous, and it has some of that variegation in the leaves as well. Then we have Joker. So look at Joker. Joker is very upright, very happy, upturned face, has a little bit of rose in it, but more in that kind of that creamy yellow white ivory. Beautiful. And then, oh, look at this, y'all. Isn't she beautiful? Nice and tall, stunning, stunning. This is Ice and Roses Rose. So this is that beautiful pink. And then this is Ice and Roses Red. Obviously she's not blooming, gonna have a red bloom to it. So absolutely gorgeous selection of hellebores. Get out here and come get them, y'all. I'm telling you, I tried to order plenty, knowing y'all they'll be gone in before we know it. So come out here and get it. Now let me show you some Carexes, some Carex grasses we got. Lovely. If you've been with Gardening with Creekside for any length of time, you know that we absolutely adore these two Carexes. So Carexes are going to be an evergreen, quote, grass for us. These are going to be for your shade garden. This is Everillo. Look at that. And it's actually got some blooms on it, some little plumes. So there you go. Has that trailing habit to it, but we love the Everillo because it has that beautiful chartreuse color to it. These do amazing in containers and the landscape. I have them in both and they do really well. And then one of my probably all-time favorite perennials, probably my favorite Carex if I had to say, Feather Falls. Feather Falls is a beautiful, I mean, this is a stunning plant. The more water that you give these grasses, the happier they are and they will get big. And I love them too because they are evergreen. So even this time of year, here we are in early to mid February, where the garden may look a little bare, a little blank, especially in your shade garden. These things are still there. They are happy, they are beautiful. Feather Falls does amazing in containers because if you can keep the water on them, they just get huge and massive. I have at least the 4 in containers in 3 different gardens. Beautiful. So very cold hardy. You don't have to worry about burn on them in the wintertime. They can do like morning sun, filtered sun, not hot afternoon sun. So that kind of gives you an idea on those. Beautiful plants, great low maintenance. We love low maintenance for sure. So what we're going to do is just keep continuing to put these plants out. We get the stickers on them, barcodes on them, and get them all set up. So if you're in the area, we're going to be open starting this weekend, Saturdays at 9 to 3 for these 2 Saturdays in February. Then beginning in March, we'll be open Wednesday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. We would love to see you. The annuals are growing. They're very happy back here. So we've got the annuals that are growing. And we also have a good number of perennials now available in quarts. Have them in gallons too, but quarts, because y'all said that y'all wanted some perennials in quarts. So you asked and we are delivering. Y'all have an amazing day. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.